was born with cerebral palsy and diagnosed at 18 months. That was back in 1979. Spent the first 4 months of my life in an incubator at Coast in Louisville. Had a 40% chance of making it, and here I am. My mom was, if you've ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, my mom was kind of like Forrest's mom. You know, she wanted me to have the same opportunities that everybody else was going to have, and just because I was born a little different didn't mean that I didn't deserve the same opportunities. So I was mainstreamed into school in the first grade, went all the way from the first grade to the 12th grade, no special ed classes. They would pull me out on occasion to do PT and OT therapy, that kind of thing on a weekly basis. Taught me how to, basically, one of the therapists would pull me out and got me hooked on video games because that helped my hand-eye coordination. So, and then the other therapist got me into playing cards because shuffling cards helped with your hand-eye coordination. So video games and gambling, who knew that those two things would really, benefit me. So yeah, and graduated with a regular diploma just like everybody else in my class. And it's a big accomplishment anytime anybody graduates from any kind of school, but to have a disability on top of that, I mean, it's just, it's one of those big things, It's like when I first got mainstreamed into school, this was, in the 80s, you didn't hear this stuff. So it was all in the paper, and in 1988, when all this was kind of, still in the forefront, they were like, well, Easter Seals, which is down in Evansville that provides therapy services, they're like, well, we need to pull this guy because we need him to be our child representative. So I was child rep for them back in '88, got to meet Don Mattingly and got my picture taken with him. And the telethon back then was 37 hours long. I was on TV for a long time, So, and I still get services from them to this day. I've been living independently since 2006 in Evansville. I'm currently living with my fiance. We're getting married next year. She's able-bodied, and she's a drug dealer. I'm kidding. She's a pharmacy tech. So I love pulling that joke on people. They're like, what? Like, no. She when I first met her, she was a CNA. So that helped out because she kind of already knew the ins and outs of stuff, and we joke around about that a lot. But then she decided, well, that's tough work. If you know what those people do day in and day out, it's tough work, So she's like, I want out of there. So she decided to do the cashier thing at Walmart for a little bit, and then the pharmacy tech job opened up. And she was like, well, I want to know more about the medication that you take and what it does. I went to a comedy club back in 2005 when they still had the Funny Bone back in Evansville, and was able to see a comedian by the name of Chris Fonseca, if you know who that is. He has cerebral palsy. He's been in the comedy scene for probably 30 years. He's performed on David Letterman, and he's been on some big shows. And so I kind of thought about it and didn't really do anything with it. Then years later, Josh Blue, if you've ever heard of him, he also has cerebral palsy, one last comic standing, I believe, 2005, 2006. Saw him, met with him, got my picture taken. And then my friend's like, hey, I got these free tickets to this comedy club in town. You need to go check it out. So I went and checked it out. And they had an open mic. So I thought, I'll get up there and I'll do some stuff. And, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. The old adage, if you don't try, you don't know kind of thing. So I got up there and started doing some stuff and noticed that I was pretty quick on my feet, I guess you'd say, mentally. Not physically, of course, but mentally. I was, quick on my feet, and I was kind of good at it. So a friend of mine, actually, he wasn't a friend of mine at the time, but saw me, doing the stuff, and he had a startup comedy business, so he's been booking me on shows and stuff like that. So anytime there's a new venue that we've got that we're really wanting to promote and get, he throws me in there to MC the show to kind of test the waters to see, okay, what kind of crowd do we have here? And we've actually been able to book regular shows at Legends Bar and Grill in French Lick. So I basically perform all around southern Indiana. I've been to Bloomington. I've done some stuff in Fort Wayne. Just because I have a disability doesn't mean I can't be funny, you know? And the preconceived notions that people have about disabilities, those are hilarious. They really are, and people need to realize that what they say, no matter how stupid it might be, it's hilarious to me, and if you say it to me, guess what? I might use it on stage, so be careful. Kid you not, this happened to me at the place I work at. Guy comes in, he said, wow, you didn't sound handicapped over the phone. I mean, you know, who says that to somebody? So my response was, wow, you didn't sound short either. Are you trying out for the new Hobbit movie, you know? He's like 5 foot tall. And you know what? He thought it was so funny, he's bought thousands of dollars of equipment from us since then. So I've found out the trick to the trade. If you can make them laugh, they're going to open their wallet and they're going to spend money with you. Because, you know, if you can get them to like you, they'll trust you, which means if they trust you, they'll believe in your product and they'll buy from you.